told you guys that I was gonna show you a little bit of how our electronic logs work in Norway or Europe. So we've got, this is how it looks, and if I turn on the ignition, you've got time, how fast we're going. Right now it's showing rest, because we're resting, so that's a picture of a bed, and that's driver number 1, and this is driver number 2. So we've got a card inside that's the country you're in, so that's N for Norway, okay, and that's my name. So if you've got 2 drivers, driver number 1 is supposed to put his card in this slot, and driver number 2 is supposed to put his card in the number 2 slot. Let's see. Yeah. So this is my, oh, it's upside down. Well, this is my, let's see, driver card. So that's issued by Statens. It's the authorities in Norway, road authorities. Every driver needs one of those, and when you put that in, it tells you, let's see, ready for driving. And when that wheel shows, you didn't see it right now, but when you start driving, this icon here turns to a wheel around a circle with a dot inside of it. That's a wheel, and that tells you that you're on wheels, you're driving. So when you stop the car and you're not actually having the brake, but you're outside working, you have to switch this to, you get 2 hammers and a cross, and that's your time working. So basically in Norway we have, or Europe, we have 9 hours of driving, so you have 4.5 hours of driving. 4.5 hours of driving, and in those 4.5 hours you have to have at least 45-minute break. So you can drive for 4.5 hours, then you have to have a 45-minute break, and then you have 4.5 hours to go that day, and then you're done for the day. But you can also drive for example 2.5 hours, take a 15-minute break, and drive for 2 more hours and take half an hour break. And we can get into this later, but you can do it in different ways. And also you can extend the period, the 10-hour period a day, with 1 hour 2 times a week, and then you have to have a 24-hour reset or rest. There also you have to have a 48-hour reset as well if you drive. It's a whole different story. We can go into that later on, but basically that's some of it. And you have a total of 15 hours a day you can work, including work hours outside, strapping down, doing work, changing loads or unloading, loading, driving. Total of 15 hours a day you can work. The rest has to be rest or break. And also I want to show you my company card. Every company has to have this card as well. That's a company card. So once a month we have to take the data from our driver's card and our e-log and put it over onto our company card and put it in our computer, or log it in a way so that the authorities can keep check of it, keep you under control. And to do that, there's a slot somewhere in there. So there's a slot in there, and And we've got this one. This is a reader that we put in. It's basically, let's see, it's a big ass memory stick with a screen on it, and it's a touch screen. You can do what you need to do on that one. And your company card has to go in slot number 2, and your driver card has to be in slot number 1. And then you put this in there, and it tells you what to do, and you do it, and it downloads the last 3-4 weeks of driving into this one. You can keep it here because it's got quite a big memory card, but also you can just take it and put it into your computer with the USB, so you got more storage. So that's how that works. If you're a bigger company, a fleet company, you have to have a guy or a woman go out and read out these cards from your trucks, or you have to have your drivers come in and do it, so that you have everything under control. Earlier days, let me think, when I was started into trucking, I guess maybe 20 years ago, we had a diagram. They look kind of like this, but you pushed a button, and a big what do you call, slot came out, and you had paper that you could put in, and it wrote on paper, and you had to take the paper, before you put the paper in, you had to put miles on the truck in, and your name and all that. And when you took the paper out that day, you had to put the miles that you had driven that day, and you logged it like that. But that was in the old days. So yeah, that's how that works. There's a lot more to it, but we can go. If you have any questions, you can ask me, and I'll try to answer them as good as I can. And also, if you're a professional driver in Europe, you have to have do a course. It's a 4-day course every 4th year. Some countries in Europe, you can do a 1-day course. In 4 years, you have to complete this course. So they have 1 day each year for 4 years. But in Norway, we have 4 days. We do a week every 4th year, and that includes new rules and regulations, economy driving, some safety rules, and also you have to drive your truck with a trainer inside of it, and it's just to get the basics back. Economy driving, use as little fuel as possible, take care of your truck, and also how to secure loads. It's an okay course. It's every 4th year, so it's I don't mind it. I think it's good to have. Of course, a lot of older drivers, they think it's bull, but there's always something new to learn, right? So you might pick up something. So that's it. And also some more info on the e-log. There's these 2 units. They are satellite. They're talking to the satellite, so they can keep track of you, where you are, where you've been, and stuff like that. So they don't actually have to see your card or anything. They could log on to their computer, and they've got your info. And also, of course, there's let's see, on the transmission, you've got this reader going on to the main output shaft, so that reads your RPM and no, not your RPM, but your speed, of course. and that has to be checked. The whole system has to be checked every 2 years. You have to go through it and recalibrate it and make sure it's okay. Mm-hmm. So that's it for the e-log. As I said, just drop a comment, or if you want to ask me some questions, no problem at all. I'll try to answer them. A lot more videos coming up with, as I mentioned in an earlier video, with the trailer. I'll hook up the truck to the trailer, and we'll talk about that, and I can extend the trailer for you so you can see how that works. And really appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and I'll try to make as good of content I can for you guys, and hopefully I'm getting better at this as time goes by. Really appreciate you watching, and I wish you a great weekend. See you later.